it's time for our last presentation. And if you haven't heard of Gary Chen, who is an IB junior here, you might have heard of his infamous love for Kevin Hu. Now, if you haven't heard of either of those, and I don't want to give too much away, get ready for Gary's presentation about Kevin Hu, frozen yogurt, and what it means for us.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you very much. Okay, let's just dive right in. Who here voted for Kevin Hu? That's more people than the people who like food. Okay, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's okay. I'm going to explain, and you are in for a treat. Kevin, funny story, Kevin was supposed to be here today. His car broke down at McDonald's. Thanks a lot, globalized food. But praise be to God, he made it here today. Kevin, can you stand up? This is my friend. Hi. That's Kevin. Kevin's been my friend since the first grade, and we're two peas in a very small pod. People compare us to Phineas and Ferb. And that's Kevin, so. There's Kevin. There's Kevin holding some silverware. Kevin hard at work. I just realized that he doesn't like to smile. There we go. Okay. So Kevin, my best friend, Kevin. Let's go around for Kevin. Alright, that's the first half of my presentation. And the second half is about frozen yogurt. The specific frozen yogurt chain that I'm going to be talking about is the Skinny Dip frozen yogurt bar. And I'm sure many of you have been to Skinny Dip. It's the most popular Froyo chain in Hampton Roads. But you've all seen these frozen yogurt shops around besides Skinny Dip. Oops. Key West is actually right. We could walk there right now if we wanted to. These are just some other ones I know of in Virginia Beach. Yo Mama is my preferred store. And I want you to notice how all of these logos, almost all of them use green and purple as their colors. And that's something that I've noticed with these frozen yogurt stores, that they try to appeal to this kind of hip, young mentality, and they're trying to catch your attention as a youngster. And something that the Skinny Dip frozen yogurt bar did, as kind of this attention getter for their customer base, is they made this Facebook poll. Every month they do a Facebook poll where they, on Facebook you can ask a question and people can answer it with pretty much any answer they want. And Skinny Dip did a poll. Every month they do a poll where you can submit a group name, and whoever gets the most votes wins $300 worth of frozen yogurt. And this is the poll that I'm going to be talking about today. Win a catering event worth $300 when your group gets the most votes. And they were very kind of vague on this, actually. I took group to meant any association of more than 2 people. So I put Kevin's whose birthday party in as a group. And so the date of November 8th, Kevin's birthday was coming up in December, and this whole thing happened November 18th. So, and every time you vote in this poll, this thing pops up on your friend's newsfeed. And that's how I found the poll at first. Was someone from Princess Anne High School voted for Princess Anne High School. And notice how the top competitors in this poll are Princess Anne High School, Ocean Lakes High School, and eventually Kevin. So this is my initial conversation with Kevin. I was like, dude, I should put your name in for this poll. It'd be so funny, right? And Kevin's like, haha, okay, do it. So I did. I put his name in, and it was, this was a joke. It was whimsy. We were having fun. I put this post on my wall so people would know about it. Go for Kevin. And 10 likes, 2 comments. Yeah. This was okay. Notice the time. 4:40. 4 votes. Oh yes. That's more than most of the other high schools that are in there. And Kevin says he feels bad. He's going to feel a lot worse later. So, 4:52, Princess Anne and Ocean Lakes are tied. Originally, Princess Anne was in the lead by a little bit. At this point, they're tied. I think we're at like 10 or 15 votes. Kevin's catching up. And Kevin gave me the idea to post it in the IB page. And so I did. I posted in the IB page. Oh wait, this is, okay. One of our friends did. His name's Ricky Acosta. He goes to Ocean Lakes, which is funny. He goes to Ocean Lakes, which is one of the main competitors in the poll. He made this. He saw what we were doing. He thought it was funny. Yeah, I bet he was thinking like, there's no possible way that I'm doing. I'm just gonna make this for fun. And he was Kevin, the dolphin, some person just telling you to vote for Kevin. And people saw this. They liked it. It was funny. I decided to make some too. And these things are called image macros, not memes. Memes are a separate thing, and image macro is when you superimpose text on top of an image. And see, I put Kevin. That's actually another person's birthday cake. And he's here too. Steven was another integral part of his campaign. This is another macro I made. I tried to find just the most heart-wrenching, sad photo of Kevin I could. It's kind of hard, actually. And so I started to get a bit more audacious with my campaigning at this point because I soon realized that this was a campaign. We were basically, running Kevin for an office. So I made this post in several different group pages. I started with IB class of 2014. This was the one I made in my own, I went to governor school for summer, and this was the post I made in my governor school page. So I went around to all these groups, Facebook groups, because Facebook lets you associate yourself with other friends and groups. And this was the one I made in my governor school group. I made a pretty similar post in all my school clubs, church-related stuff, and my friend Froyo actually helped out. This was another post she made. Froyo approved. And this is the post I made in the IB class page. And it's funny because eventually we decided that we should expand our audience base to more than just our own friends. And I decided to request to join the class of 2013 and 2015 pages. And somehow I got into both of them. I think Sharon let me into the class of 2013 one. Natasha, did you let me into the... He said no. But, yeah, so I even got into the Ocean Lakes class page. and I made a post there too. And 6:49 p.m., we are actually at 100 votes, and we're getting traction. And as I'm reading through these logs, when I was making this presentation, I see like Kevin and I are getting more and more excited as time goes on. And 6:50 p.m., we're at 100, or at around like 80, 90 votes, and PA and Ocean Lakes are tied again. And so for some reason we were talking in percentages. And Kevin actually at this point started to doubt me. Throughout the whole campaign, people were doubting me, saying, there's no way Kevin could win, this is funny, and it's exciting, but there's no way Kevin could actually win, right? But no, I was intent at this point. I'd gone too far already, I was not going back. So I got very aggressive with my campaigning at this point. There's some mudslinging in there. And it's 8:02, skip forward a couple hours. Kevin's regaining his confidence. We are 80-some behind the other high schools. Ocean Lakes is in the lead. And then we decided that we'd make flyers. This is the flyer that we passed out in school. Some of you may have seen it. I gave it to Miss Cosmano, actually, and she put it up on the class of 2014 bulletin board. We were very excited when we saw that. And I want to point out some things I put in this flyer. If you look at this link down here, the link to the Facebook poll was like facebook.com/event/poll/24608. And of course, no one wants to type that into their address bar. So there's something called a link shortening service, which is where you paste in some ridiculous link, and you get out this cute little neat link that you can just type in really quick. This is the bit.ly, the service I use, and see there's the book Kevin page. Another thing I used on this flyer was this QR code. And QR codes are scannable codes. They make smartphone apps for them, and you can actually aim your camera at the code, and it will take you to a website. And of course, I linked this to the Facebook poll. You can actually do it right now if you want to. I'll give you some time to do that. And these are just some of the tools that we were using. These are some of the tools we were using to spread the word about Kevin outside the internet in the real world. Got this one? Okay. I'm gonna go on. I'll show it to you. At 9:10 p.m., we are catching up pretty close to President Ocean Lakes. I was very, very excited at this point. We were getting pretty close, but we had to go to Applebee's for dinner. My parents last year got into American food somehow, and they said, that night they're like, November 18th, let's go to Applebee's, the epitome of American fine dining. We went to Applebee's, this is at around like 9:30, and as everyone knows, at Applebee's you get half off appetizers after 9:30. We got some mozzarella sticks. And so, funny thing, I was sitting at Applebee's eating with my family, and my phone is buzzing away the whole time. like pretty much nonstop. And what it was Kevin and Steven and all the other people who were involved in this campaign texting me, giving me updates, constantly giving me updates about, oh, we're like 20 votes behind PA, 10 votes behind PA, and they were getting pretty excited. And my parents looked at me really funny, they're like, who the heck is texting you nonstop while we're at dinner? So I explained to them the whole campaign, and they were pretty excited too. And 10:57 p.m. So yeah, at this point we pretty much won, but we're still going to go on with the campaign. We still have to pass out the flyers at school. Some celebratory posting. Kevin said, what the heck are we going to do with $300 of frozen yogurt? And this is one of my friends, Danielle, she actually told me that 4 other people had gone to her and messaged her telling her to vote for Kevin besides me. And that was just really like amazing as to see how far this campaign had just come. More celebratory posting. And here is a graph I made. Plus or minus 450 votes, plus or minus 30 minutes. You see at 11 o'clock is when we took the lead, and President Bush was kind of. And our final total was 430 votes to Princess Anne Ocean Lakes, around 330. And it's still up. I don't know if they ever take it down or not. So yeah, that is the story of how Kevin won $300 of frozen yogurt. You might be thinking like, okay, is that all to the story? No, there's actually some deeper implications. So the biggest thing I got out of this was how I personally applied my leadership skills. Because in school, we learn about all these kind of leadership techniques and cooperation, synaptic, whatever. We go to leadership workshop. I know Ms. Carpenter teaches a leadership class, and I'm pretty sure you've all had experiences with these. But after a couple years of education, these just became buzzwords: leadership, cooperation, synergy. But viewing this campaign was really a kind of way for me to apply these skills in a tangible way. And these are just some examples of the skills I used. Emotional appeal. These posters, these image macros, were trying to convey Kevin in the most purest, innocent way. Trying to get some sympathy for him, which worked. And then something interesting we did along these lines was, Kevin, if you notice, he didn't talk at all throughout this whole campaign. He didn't make any posts, any comments. And I'm pretty sure we actually decided to do that on purpose because if Kevin had campaigned for himself, it would be prideful, hubristic, arrogant. But Kevin didn't say anything. And people actually came to me and asked me, Gary, does Kevin even know you're doing this? And I'm like, yeah, of course he knows. But this is just a friendly birthday gift to him. Out of the deepest parts of my heart. And people sympathized. Some more techniques, humor. At first, this whole thing was just a joke. Where we're saying, wouldn't it be funny if Kevin's name was in this poll? If he got a certain number of votes. But it's funny how many of the greatest discoveries of our time all started with, wouldn't it be funny if? And we did do some mudslinging. We said that high school, it would be a bad idea to vote for your high school because high school's not a fun place to hang out and have Froyo. High schools aren't fun. And who knows? Maybe if a high school won, the administration wouldn't even let us have the Froyo. That would be a tragedy. So people were trying to convince people, kind of logically, to vote for Kevin. We also tried to appeal to people's sense of altruism. We said, if you vote for Kevin, or if you were to vote for your own high school, then your high school gets the ice cream. But if you vote for Kevin, we're going to host this ice cream, this frozen yogurt, in a public location for all to enjoy. So in voting for Kevin, you are supporting the community, giving this and I'm pretty sure some people felt this way. It certainly helped. But the most important thing that I want to talk about is how social media was used in this campaign. Facebook is basically our main hub of social media. Twitter was a service pretty much designed just so that big companies, organizations, and celebrities can connect with their fan base. And with the advent of the smartphone, it's just that we've been 24/7 connected to these social media services. And even our education has been social mediaified. And these media services, doing this campaign has made me realize what all these techniques and kind of manipulations that organizations and big companies use social media services. And with these, it's become even easier for them to reach people in a way that they haven't been able to do before. So if anything, I just want you guys to realize to notice how every day when you're on the internet, when you're watching TV, how people are using these services to reach you. For example, Red Bull, when Felix Baumgartner did that super awesome, super record-setting jump in space, that was basically an advertisement for Red Bull. What other people were paying me. AAA, when they have their safe driving campaigns and everything, they're kind of advertising for AAA. If you ever watched Will It Blend on YouTube, which is a pretty old web series, that's actually an advertisement for Blendtec blenders, which is an actual real blender line, if you didn't know. Starbucks uses them. And the funniest thing is Skinny Dip, through this campaign, throughout this whole campaign, was kind of advertising to us, to me, to all of us, everyone who voted. And I can just imagine them sitting in their chairs going, haha, you all fell for this campaign. So I just want you guys to notice, in everyday life, I'm not saying that you shouldn't use these services or that they're bad, but I just want you to notice, and hopefully you won't feel that these people are just sitting in their chairs behind their computers going, ha ha ha, you all fell for these tricks. And that is everything you could possibly want to know about Kevin Hu Frozen Yogurt.
Alrighty, so audience discussion. Anyone wants to comment?
Okay,
Or ask questions?
we have a max of 3 questions, so make it good.
What did you end up doing with all of that Froyo?
Okay, I actually wasn't going to talk about this, otherwise my presentation would be like 30 minutes long. But we decided we couldn't actually make it like a public event, otherwise we'd have like 1 million people show up. So we made a Facebook event, we put a puzzle on it that led to the location. And the puzzle, I thought it was pretty simple. They were GPS coordinates, like 35 degrees west, 176 degrees north or something. And so we ended up with only like 30-some people showing up, which was a decent number. And the location was actually in an office building, which no one expected. So even when people did find the location, they're like, no, I couldn't possibly be there. But later, when people would ask us, like, where was it? The location, the coordinates were to some weird office building. We're like, it was there. Why didn't you come? But there was a decent number of people, but we still ended up with excess frozen yogurt. It was a catering event. They weren't actually giving us frozen yogurt. They were going to cater the event, which was Kevin's birthday party.
Was the contest just over one day, or was it over, like your graph, I couldn't tell if it was one day or over?
I think it was, they're very ambiguous about this poll. It was just, all it said was, whoever gets the most votes, what group gets the most votes, wins $200 in frozen yogurt. I think halfway through the campaign, Skinny Dip made a post saying that votes end Tuesday. But after our campaign, we were pretty much, for sure going to win. I think the poll had been going on for maybe a couple of days before this. But yeah, right now there's actually another one going on. I think it's whatever church group gets the most votes gets this catering event. And they say, like, it's going to end when we say it's going to end, is basically what they're saying. And I don't know if we maybe had some part in them deciding to do that.
I'd just like to say how impressed I was with all of the presenters today, and I'd suggest that you combine your energies, the marketing, the music, and food. It brings people together. You can bring these people together to address the problem with human trafficking. That would be a great effort, and again, I'm just extremely impressed with all of you.
much, Gary.